Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Inquire into. The students had to research the history of the Second World War for their history project. A search for knowledge. Their pottery deserves more research than it has received. Attempt to find out in a systematically and scientific manner. The student researched the history of that word. Systematic investigation to establish facts. Inquire into. Examine minutely. Examine organs for diagnostic purposes. Travel to or penetrate into. Explore unknown territory in biology. Inquire into. The students had to research the history of the Second World War for their history project. An operation that determines whether one or more of a set of items has a specified property. The activity of looking thoroughly in order to find something or someone. Search or seek. Try to locate or discover, or try to establish the existence of. The police are searching for clues. An investigation seeking answers. A thorough search of the ledgers revealed nothing. Boarding and inspecting a ship on the high seas. Right of search. Subject to a search. The police searched the suspect. The examination of alternative hypotheses. His search for a move that would avoid checkmate was unsuccessful. A systematic investigation of a matter of public interest. A search for knowledge. An instance of questioning. A systematic investigation of a matter of public interest. A search for knowledge. An instance of questioning. Examine so as to determine accuracy, quality, or condition. Investigate scientifically. Investigate scientifically. Let's investigate the syntax of Chinese. Conduct an inquiry or investigation of. The district attorney's office investigated reports of possible irregularities. The area of cognitive psychology that studies the processes involved in solving problems. The thought processes involved in solving a problem. The work of inquiring into something thoroughly and systematically. An inquiry into unfamiliar or questionable activities. The work of inquiring into something thoroughly and systematically. Search anxiously. A free, widely used web map server. Search for a location and directions by means of the MapQuest program. You can just MapQuest the restaurant. The possibility of future success. His prospects as a writer are excellent. Someone who is considered for something, for an office or prize or honor, etc. The visual percept of a region. Belief about, or mental picture of, the future. A prediction of the course of a disease. Explore for useful or valuable things or substances, such as minerals. Search for something desirable. Prospect a job. Explore anew. We need to re-explore colonialism. Search anxiously. Search anxiously. A widely used search engine that uses text matching techniques to find web pages that are important and relevant to a user's search. Search the internet for information using the Google search engine. He Googled the woman he had met at the party. An empirical search for knowledge. The testing of an idea. It was an experiment in living. The act of conducting a controlled test or investigation. Try something new, as in order to gain experience. Students experiment sexually. A venture at something new or different. As an experiment, he decided to grow a beard. To conduct a test or investigation. We are experimenting with the new drug in order to fight this disease. The testing of an idea. Not all experimentation is done in laboratories. The act of conducting a controlled test or investigation. Emblem indicating the right of a person to bear arms. The study and classification of armorial bearings and the tracing of genealogies. A large piece of fabric, usually canvas fabric, by means of which wind is used to propel a sailing vessel. A heavy, closely woven fabric, used for clothing or chairs or sails or tents. A tent made of canvas fabric. An oil painting on canvas fabric. An inquiry into public opinion conducted by interviewing a random sample of people. The setting for a narrative or fictional or dramatic account. The map that forms the floor of the ring in which boxers or professional wrestlers compete. Consider in detail and subject to an analysis in order to discover essential features or meaning. Get the opinions of people by asking specific questions. Solicit votes from potential voters in an electoral campaign. The study of animals and plants in the natural world, usually at an elementary level. An inquiry into public opinion conducted by interviewing a random sample of people. Convert into a pollard. Pollard trees. An inquiry into public opinion conducted by interviewing a random sample of people. The top of the head. A tame parrot. Get the opinions of people by asking specific questions. Get the votes of. The counting of votes, as in an election. The part of the head between the ears. Vote in an election at a polling station. An inquiry into unfamiliar or questionable activities. There was a congressional probe into the scandal. Examine physically with or as if with a probe. Probe an anthill. Question or examine thoroughly and closely. A flexible, slender surgical instrument with a blunt end that is used to explore wounds or body cavities. An exploratory action or expedition. An investigation conducted using a flexible surgical instrument to explore an injury or a body cavity. An inquiry into public opinion conducted by interviewing a random sample of people. Seek information from. Get or ask advice from. They had to consult before arriving at a decision. Seek information from. You should consult the dictionary. Have a conference in order to talk something over. Advise professionally. The professor consults for industry. Be relevant to. There were lots of questions referring to her talk. Seek information from. Refer to your notes. Have as a meaning. Make reference to. Send or direct for treatment, information, or a decision. Refer a patient to a specialist. Think of, regard, or classify under a subsuming principle or with a general group or in relation to another. This plant can be referred to a known species. Use a name to designate. Christians refer to the Mother of Jesus as the Virgin Mary. An investigation carried out in the field rather than in a laboratory or headquarters.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.